shall we three meet again? In thunder, lightning, or in rain?
When the hurly-burly's done, when the battle's lost and won.
That will be ere the set of sun.
Where the place?
Upon the heath.
There to meet with Macbeth.
I come, Grey Malkin.
Paddock calls.
Anon.
Fair is foul.
And foul is fair.
Hover through the fog and the filthy air.
What bloody man is that? He can report as seemeth by his plight of the revolt, the new estate.
This is the sergeant, who like a good and hardy soldier fought against my captivity. Hail, brave friend! Say to the king the knowledge of the broil as thou didst leave it.
Doubtful it stood, as two spent swimmers that do cling together and choke their art, the merciless MacDonald, worthy to be a rebel, for to that the multiplying villainies of nature do swarm upon him from the western isles of kerns and gallow glasses is supplied, and fortune on his damned quarrel smiling, showed like a rebel's whore, but all's too weak for brave Macbeth. Well, he deserves that name, disdaining fortune with his brandished steel, which smoked with bloody execution, like valor's minion carved out his passage till he faced the slave, which he ne'er shook hands, nor bade farewell to him, till he unseamed him from the nave to the chaps, and fixed his head upon our battlements.
Valiant cousins, worthy gentlemen.
As whence the sun gins his reflection, shipwrecking storms and direful thunders break, so from that spring whence comfort seemed to come, discomfort swells. Mark, King of Scotland, mark! No sooner justice had, with valor armed, compelled these skipping kerns to trust their heels, but the Norwegian lord, surveying vantage, with furbished arms and new supplies of men, began a fresh assault.
Dismayed not this our captains, Macbeth and Banquo?
Yes, as sparrows, eagles, or the hare, the lion. If I say sooth, I must report they were as cannons overcharged with double cracks, so they doubly redoubled strokes upon the foe, except they meant to bathe in reeking wounds or memorize another Golgotha. I cannot tell, but I am faint. My gashes cry for help.
So well thy words become thee as thy wounds. They smack of honor both. Get him, surgeons. Who comes here?
The worthy Thane of Rome.
With a hateful look through his eyes. Who should they look?
God save the king.
Whence camest thou, worthy Thane?
From great Fife, great king, where the Norwegian banners flout the sky and fan our people cold. Norway himself, with terrible numbers, assisted by that most disloyal traitor, the Thane of Cawdor, began a dismal conflict, till that bell and his bridegroom lacked in proof. Him with self-comparisons, point against point, rebellious arm against rebellious arm, curbing his lavish spirit. And to conclude, victory fell on us.
Oh, happiness!
That now, the Norway's king comes. He would deign his burial of his men, till they dispersed at St. Combs. $10,000 to our general use.
No more that Thane of Cawdor shall deceive our bosom interests. Go pronounce his present death, and with his former title greet Macbeth.
I'll see it done.
What he hath lost, noble Macbeth hath won.
Where hast thou been, sister?
Killing swine.
Sister, where thou? A sailor's wife had chestnuts in her lap, and munched and munched and munched. Give me, quoth I, aroint thee, which the rum-fed Runyon cried. Her husband's to Aleppo gone, master of the tiger. In a sieve I'll thither sail, and like a rat without a tail, I'll do, and I'll do.
I'll give thee a wind.
Thou art kind.
And I another.
And I myself have all the other, and the very ports they blow, all the quarters that they know, I, the shipman's card. I shall drain him dry as hay, sleep shall neither night nor day hang upon his penthouse lid. He shall live a man forbid, wearisome nights 9 times 9, though he dwindle, peak, and pine. Though his bark cannot be lost, yet it shall be tempest-tossed. Look what I have.
Show me.
Here I have a pilot's thumb. Wrecked as homebound he did come.
A drum. Macbeth doth come.
The weird sisters, hand in hand.
Posters of the sea and land.
Thus do go about.
Thrice to thine.
And thrice to mine.
And thrice again
to make up 9.
Peace, the charms wound up.
So foul and fair a day I have not seen.
How far is it called to Forest? What are these? So withered and so wild in their attire, they look not like the inhabitants of the earth and yet are on it? Live you? Or are you aught that man may question? You seem to understand me by each at once, her choppy finger laying upon her skinny lips. You should be women, but your beards forbid me to interpret that you are so.
Speak, if you can. What are you?
Hail to thee, Thane of Glamis.
All hail, Macbeth. Hail to thee, Thane of Cawdor.
All hail Macbeth, that shalt be king hereafter.
My friend, why do you start and seem to fear things that sound so fair? In the name of truth, are ye fantastical, or that indeed which outwardly you show? My noble partner you greet with present grace and great prediction of noble having and of royal hope. But to me you speak not. He seems rapt withal. If you have the ability to look into the seeds of time and say which grain will grow and which will not, speak now to me, who neither begs nor fears your favors nor your hate.
Lesser than Macbeth, but greater.
Not so happy, yet much happier.
Thou shalt get kings, though thou art none. So all hail Macbeth and Banquo.
Banquo and Macbeth, all hail.
Stay, you imperfect speakers, tell me more. By Sinel's death I know I am Thane of Glamis, but how of Cawdor? The Thane of Cawdor lives, a prosperous gentleman, and to be king stands not within the prospects of belief. Say from whence you owe this strange intelligence, or why upon this blasted heath you stop our way with such prophetic greeting. Speak! I charge you!
The earth hath bubbles, as the water has, and these are of them. Whither have they vanished?
Into the air, and what seems corporal melted as breath into the wind. Would they have stayed?
Were such things here that we speak about? Or have we eaten on the insane root that takes the reason prisoner?
Your children shall be kings.
You shall be king.
Aye, and Thane of Cawdor too, went it not so?
The self-same tune and words. Who's there?
Thy king has happily received, Macbeth, the news of thy success, and whom he reads thy personal venture in the rebels' fight. His wonders and his praises do countered, which should be thine or his. Silenced with that interviewing all the rest of the same self-day, he finds thee in the stout Norwegian winds. Nothing afeard of what thine didst make, strange images of death, as thick as heel, did bear us. Them down before him.
We are sent to give thee from our royal master thanks, only to herald thee into his sight, not pray thee.
And for an earnest greater honor, he bade me, from him call the Thane of Cawdor, in which addition hail most worthy thine, it is for thine.
Can the devil speak truth? The Thane of Cawdor lives. Why do you dress me in borrowed robes?
Who was the Thane lives yet, but under heavy judgment bears that life which he deserves to lose. Whether he was combined with those of Norway, or did line the rebel with some hidden help or vantage, or that with both he labored in his country's wreck, I know not. But treason's capital, confessed and proved, have overthrown him.
Glamis and Thane of Cawdor. The greatest is behind. Thanks for your pains. Do you not wish your children shall be kings? When those that gave the Thane of Cawdor to me promised no less to them?
That trusted home might yet enkindle you to the crown, besides the Thane of Cawdor, but 'tis strange. And oftentimes to win us in our harm, the instruments of darkness tell us truths, win us with honest trifles and betray in deepest consequences. Cousins, a word, I pray you.
Two truths are told, as happy prologues to the swelling act of the imperial theme. I thank you, gentlemen. This supernatural soliciting cannot be ill, cannot be good. If ill, why hath it given me earnest of success commencing in a truth? I am Thane of Cawdor. If good, why do I yield to that suggestion, whose horrid image doth unfix my hair, and make my seated heart knock at my ribs against the use of nature? Present fears are less than horrible imaginings. My thought, whose murder yet is but fantastical, shakes so my single state of man, that function is smothered in surmise, and nothing is but what is not.
Look how our partner's wrapped.
If chance will have me king, why, chance may crown me without my stir.
New honors come upon him like our strange garments cleave not to their mold, but with the aid of use.
Come what come may, time and the hour runs through the roughest day.
Worthy Macbeth, we stay upon your leisure.
Give me your favor. Kind gentlemen, your pains are registered where every day I turn the leaf to read them. Let us toward the king. Think upon what hath chanced, and in more time the interim having waited, let us speak our free hearts each to other.
Very gladly.
Till then, enough. Come, friends.
The execution done on Cawdor, are those in our commission yet returned?
My liege, they are not yet come back, but I have spoke with one who did see him die, who did report that very frankly, he confessed his treasons, implored your highness's pardon, and set forth a deep repentance. Nothing became him in life like his leaving Abbott. He died as one who had been studied in his life, to have thrown away the dearest thing he owed.
He was a gentleman on whom I'd built an absolute trust. Worthiest cousin, the sin of my ingratitude even now is heavy on me. Thou art so far before, the swiftest ring of recompense is slow to overtake me. Now that had been less deserved, the proportion of both thanks and payment might have been mine. Only I have left to say, more is thy due than more than all.
The service and the loyalty I owe in doing it pays itself. Your Highness' part is to receive our duties, and our duties are to your throne, and state children and servants, who do but what they should by doing everything safe towards your love and honor.
Welcome hither. I have begun to plant thee, and I will labor to see thee full of growing. Noble Banquo, thou art no less deserved, and must be known no less to have done so. Let me enfold thee and hold thee to my heart.
There if I grow, the harvest is your own.
My bounteous joys, wanton in fullness, seek to hide themselves in drops of sorrow. Sons, kinsmen, thanes, and you whose places are nearest, Know that we shall establish our estate upon our eldest, Malcolm, whom we shall name hereafter the Prince of Cumberland, which honor must not unaccompanied invest him only. The signs of nobleness, like stars, shall shine upon all deservers, from hence to Inverness. Bind us further to you.
I'll be myself the harbinger, and make joyful the hearing of my wife with your approach. So humbly take my leave. Prince of Cumberland. That is a step upon which I must fall down, or else o'erleap, for in my way it lies. Stars, hide your fires. Let not light see my black and deep desires. The eye wink at the hand, yet let that be which the eye fears when 'tis done to see.
True, noble Banquo. He is full, so valiant. In his commendations I am fed. They are a banquet to me. Let's after him, whose care has gone before us to bid us welcome. He is a peerless kinsman.
They met me in the day of success, and I have learned by the perfectest report they have more in them than mortal knowledge. When I burned and desired to question them further, they made themselves air, into which they vanished. Whilst I stood wrapped in the wonder of it, came missives from the king, who all hailed me Thane of Cawdor, by which title before these weird sisters saluted me, and referred me to the coming on of time, with, Hail, King that shalt be. This I thought good to deliver thee, my dearest partner of greatness, that thou might not lose the dews of rejoicing, by being ignorant of what greatness is promised thee. Lay it to thy heart, and farewell. Glamis thou art, and Cawdor, and shalt be what thou art promised. Yet do I fear thy nature. It is too full the milk of human kindness to catch the nearest way. Thou must be great, art not without ambition, but without the illness should attend it. What thou wouldst do highly, wouldst do holily, wouldst not play false, and yet would wrongly win. Thou wouldst have great Glamis, that which cries, thus thou must do, if thou have it. And that which rather thou dost fear to do than wishes should be undone. Hie thee hither, that I may pour my spirit in thine ear, and chastise with the valor of my tongue all that impedes thee from the golden round, which fate and metaphysical aid doth seem to have thee crowned withal. What is your tiding?
The king comes here tonight.
Give him tending. He brings great news. The raven himself is hoarse that croaks the fatal entrance of Duncan under my battlements. Come, you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts, unsex me here. Fill me from the crown to the toe, top full of direst cruelty. Make thick my blood. Stop up the access and passage of remorse, that no compunctuous visitings of nature shake my fell purpose, nor keep peace between the effect and it. Come to my woman's breast, and take my milk for gall, you murdering ministers. Wherever in your sightless substance you wait on nature's mischief. Ignite, and pall thee in the dunnest smoke from hell, that my keen knife see not the wound it makes, nor heaven peep through the blanket of the dark to cry, Hold, hold! Great Glamis, worthy Cawdor, greater than both by the all-hail hereafter. Thy letters have transported me beyond this ignorant present. I feel now the future in the instant.
My dearest love, Duncan comes here tonight.
And when goes hence?
Tomorrow, as he purposes.
never shall sun that morrow see. Your face, my Thane, is as a book where men may read strange matters. To beguile the time, look the time. Bear welcome in your eyes, your hand, your tongue. Look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under it. He that cometh must be provided for, and you shall put the night's great business into my dispatch, which shall to all our nights and days to come give solely sovereign sway and masterdom.
We will speak further.
Only look up clear. To alter favor ever is to fear. Leave all the rest to me.
This castle hath a pleasant seat. The air nimbly and sweetly recommends itself to our gentle senses.
This guest of summer, the temple-haunting marmot, does approve by his loved of manchery that the heaven's breast smells wooingly here. No jutty, frieze, buttress, or coign of vantage has made him present. His bed, his procreant cradle, where they most breed and haunt. I have observed the air is delicate.
See, honorable hostess. The love that follows us sometimes is our trouble, yet still we thank his love. And herein I shall teach you that you shall bid God your ills for your pains, and thank us for your love.
All our service, at every point twice done and then done double, were poor and single businesses to contend against those honors deep and broad wherewith your majesty loads our house. To those of old, and the late dignities heaped up to them, we rest your hermits.
Where's the Thane of Cawdor? We coursed him at his heels for the purpose of being his purveyor, but he rides well. And his true love, sharp as his spurs, hath helped him to his home before us. Fair and noble hostess, we are your guests tonight.
Oh, your servants ever have theirs themselves, and what is theirs in comp, to make their audit at your highness's pleasure, still to return your own.
Give me your hand. Conduct me to mine host. We love him highly, and shall continue our graces towards him. By your leave, hostess.
If it were done when 'tis done, then 'twere well it were done quickly. If the assassination could trammel up the consequence and catch with his Circe's success, that but this blow might be the be-all and the end-all here. But here, upon this bank and shoal of time, we jump the life to come. But in these cases, we still have judgment here. That we but teach bloody instruction, which, being taught, returns to plague the inventor. This even-handed justice commends the ingredients of our poisoned chalice to our own lips. He's here in double trust. First, as I am his kinsman and his subject, strong both against the deed. Then as his host, who should against his murderer shut the door, not bear the knife myself. Besides, this Duncan hath borne his faculties so meek, hath been so clear in his great office, that his virtues shall plead like angels trumpet-tongued against the deep damnation of his taking off. And pity, like a naked newborn babe striding the blast, or heaven's cherubim horsed upon the sightless couriers of the air, shall blow the horrid deed in every eye that tears shall drown the wind. I have no spur to prick the sides of my intent, but only vaulting ambition, which o'erleaps itself and falls on the other. How now, what news?
He hath almost supped. Why have you left the chamber?
Hath he asked for me?
No, you not he has.
We will proceed no further in this business. He hath honored me of late, and I have bought gold opinions from all sorts of people, which should be worn now in their newest gloss, not cast aside so soon.
Was the hope drunk wherein you dressed yourself? Hath it slept since? And wakes it now to look so green and pale at what it did so freely? From this time, such I account thy love. Art thou afeard to be the same in thine own act and valor as thou art in desire?
Wouldst thou have that which thou esteemest the ornament of life, and live a coward in thine own esteem, letting I dare not wait upon I would, like the poor cat in the adage?
Prithee, peace. I dare do all that may become man. Who dares do more is none.
What beast was it then that made you break this enterprise to me? When you durst do it, then you are a man. And to be more than what you are, you would be so much more the man. Nor time nor place then did it here, and yet thou would make both. They have made themselves, and that their fitness now dost unmake you. I have given suck, and know how tender it is to love the babe that milks me. I would, while it was smiling in my face, have plucked my nipple from its boneless gum and dashed the brains out, had I so sworn as you had done to this.
If we should fail.
We fail. But screw your courage to the sticking place, and we'll not fail. When Duncan is asleep, where to the rather his day's hard journey shall soundly invite him, his 2 chamberlains will I with wine and wassail so convince that memory. The water of the brain shall be a fume, the receipt of reason a limbeck only. When in swinish sleep their drenched natures lie as in a death, what cannot you and I perform upon the unguarded Duncan? What not put upon his spongy officers, who shall bear the guilt of our great well?
Bring forth men children only, for thy undaunted mettle should compose nothing but males. Will it not be received, when we have marked with blood these sleepy 2 of his own chamber, and used their very daggers that they've done it?
Who dares receive it other? For we will make our griefs and clamor roar upon his death.
I am settled, and bend up this corporal agent to this terrible feat. Away, and mock the time with fairest show. False face must hide what the false heart doth know.